Hello everyone and welcome back guys to a brand new video where today we're here to kickstart my new F1 2020 mod career mode. And today for this series we're going to have a bit of a return. We're going back just like we did on our F1 2019 mod career mode. We are going to be doing a Charles Leclerc series here, trying to wrap up our second World Championship in a row. Now this series obviously we're going to basically be doing as much of the full calendar as we possibly can. Obviously, there's no way of getting the Vietnamese Grand Prix and the Dutch Grand Prix, I should say, on F1 2018. So we're basically going to have to do a 20-race calendar. Obviously, we lose Germany as well from the F1 2018 game. Now, obviously, for those of you that aren't aware, you didn't watch my Australian GP Challenge video a couple of weeks ago. This is, back on F1 2018. This is the mod by Christix. Probably the best F1 2020 mod going at the moment for the Formula 1 games. So hopefully, obviously you guys do go on to enjoy this series. If you do, make sure you do get yourself subscribed. I've put a lot more editing into this, trying to just change up the start of the content on the channel at the moment. But I'm really excited to be jumping into this series. Hopefully you guys are as well. Like the video if you do go on to enjoy. And 20 race calendar ahead of us. It's going to be quite a long one. Looking at sort of the rules and regulations though, 25% races. Obviously, pretty much everything else is standard. One-shot qualifying, we're running Ultimate AI, as you'd come to expect. No assists whatsoever as well. And obviously, dynamic weather and official race time, as you'd probably expect from any series there on F1 YouTube. But there we are, though, guys. The rest of this series is going to be live comm. So let's jump in then. It's time for the Australian Grand Prix.
The crowd are here and here in force for what is going to be a fantastic day of racing. Welcome to the Australian Grand Prix. Here's the track then, 16 corners, 6 to the left and 10 to the right. They make up the 3.3 miles around Albert Park Lake, with turn 1 and 3 providing the best opportunities to pass. So as we look ahead to what I hope will be a very entertaining race, I have to ask Anthony Davidson what you expect to see in terms of strategy today. I mean, do you expect a lot of tyre management? A lot of fuel management?
Well, don't we always? I don't expect these are going to be any more important than usual, if I'm honest. What I do expect, however, are a lot of drivers getting into the pits early for some kind of undercut on fresh rubber. If you can pit before the person in front, have a good stop and drive a blistering outlap, there may be 1 or 2 seconds to be gained. If anyone gets stuck behind another car, for example, that will be the go-to strategy, surely.
So before the off, let's remind ourselves of yesterday's qualifying session with a look at the starting grid. Sebastian Vettel will start on pole. Fantastic qualifying for the multiple world champion. And Lewis Hamilton completes the front row. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Bottas, Max Verstappen, and Gasly, Perez, Ricciardo, Magnussen, and Roman Grosjean. Sainz, Hülkenberg, Kimi Raikkonen, and Stroll, Hartley, Stoffel Van Dorn, and Marcus Ericsson, Alonso, and Sergei Sirotkin rounds off the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Okay, the run into turn 1 isn't too long, so the pack will be bunched up. Take care.
Hello everyone and welcome back guys to the start of a brand new series where today we're here to kick off our F1 2020 mod career mode. Now, for those of you that are aware, have been around this channel for quite a while, you may remember back on F1, it was still on F1 2018 in fact, we did an F1 2019 mod career mode where we drove as Charles Leclerc. That was probably, in all honesty, one of my favourite series I've ever actually done on this channel in terms of F1 career mode. So I thought it only seemed fair. We managed to wrap up the World Championship in that series. Let's try and do it again here in F1 2020 for another mod series. Now, obviously, if you guys are new around here and you do go on to enjoy, make sure you do get yourself subscribed for more F1 2020 mod career mode content, as well as the Haas Road to Glory, which will be returning very soon as well. But looking though at this Australian Grand Prix, Obviously, only 15 laps ahead of us. Should be a fairly tidy race with a bit of luck, but obviously we'll wait and see as to how it goes. A simple one-stop strategy should get us through nice and safely to the end of the Grand Prix. The game reckons we need to pit on about lap 5, though. So we'll wait and see as to how this one goes. But anyway, let's jump in then. It's time for the Australian Grand Prix. I'm going to remember how to make starts on F1 2018. It's 5 lights, and it's lights out, and away we go for the start of a brand new season. They're getting off to a fairly decent getaway. Hamilton looks like he's going to challenge my teammate Vettel down in towards turn 1. Bottas, the other Mercedes, tries to get up the inside of ourselves, but we seem to hold on a little bit better there. It's a drag race down in towards turn 3 off the start of this Grand Prix. Bottas a little bit tidier on the brakes. Can we keep the move around the outside of them, just like Seb's able to? Yes, we do hold on to P3 there. Sebastian going slowly though off the exit of the next corner. He gives us a squeeze onto the grass. We are going to try and stick it up the inside of my teammate there, and we now move ourselves up into P2 of the Australian Grand Prix there. So that's been a good getaway for ourselves in the end. Up 1 place as well as Hamilton there, on a torrid start for my teammate Sebastian Vettel there as he drops down to P3 off pole position in this Grand Prix. Australia always seems to be a little bit cursed in the wonderful world of Formula 1, but it's normally Lewis Hamilton that is set to struggle around here. Obviously Sebastian Vettel back in 2018 took home the race victory. Last season we saw it come for Valtteri Bottas 2.0 as he was known back then. But yeah, already starting to make a few little mistakes as we head towards the end of lap 1 there. But we've held on nicely, struggling a bit with understeer through the final corner. This final sector, the car isn't set up too much for it, so we might struggle a bit out of the final couple of corners there. Hamilton obviously fast lap of the Grand Prix, a 1 second margin already as we head on to lap 2 here. We need to push to try and close up this gap. Still under a lot of pressure from my teammate Sebastian Vettel at the moment. I can just see him in the mirrors all over the place behind us. He tries to have a look up the inside into the fast chicane, but we definitely are not allowing him to get that move done through there. So clearly, yeah, my teammate Seb feels he's got a bit more pace at the moment. Qualifying would show that as well, but we need to try and work together to close up the gap to one Lewis Hamilton here, who is still, well, let's have a look as we head out the final couple of corners there. What is the gap going to be to the Mercedes man? Through the final corner we go. Hamilton is obviously going to set another fastest lap. It is a 1:24.5. We lost about 3/10 that lap. And already Jeff is talking about the pit window. However, we have now got a 2 second margin over Valtteri Bottas just behind us there. So this is not working out too bad. Maybe we need to get our head down and focus on closing down the gap to Lewis Hamilton. Obviously, we are the reigning champion in this series. So you'd like to think we could kick it off in Australia with a good result. Coming through the final couple of corners then of lap 3. We're definitely starting to close down that gap to Hamilton. He seems to be a little bit closer this time around. And yes, new fastest lap of the Grand Prix. We're just outside the DRS window at the moment there, as we make a bit of a mistake through turn 1. We've definitely got some good pace here. Bottas is still holding on to P3. It seems to have settled down a bit behind us, but Hamilton and I have built up a huge breakaway in the space of just 3 laps here, after a little bit of a tussle between myself and Sebastian Vettel. We might now just have the DRS on Lewis Hamilton there. It looks like we should do. Yes, we do. That's exactly what we like to see. Nice, easy way to close up a little bit of the gap here. This is perfect at the moment. We're just slowly bringing it to the back of the Mercedes man. Obviously, I'm sure he wants to try and win the F1 2020 World Championship. Obviously, in this alternate history, Hamilton's still only a 5-time Formula 1 World Champion. So we'll wait and see as to what he can do over the course of this series. However, we have got a good run at the final corner there. The Ferrari seems to be a bit better on race pace there. Another fastest lap. Hamilton goes a bit defensive. We somehow find the gap up the inside there. We are up into the lead of the Australian Grand Prix here. No idea how we managed to make that move work in the end, but we will take it there. And now we need to try and build up a margin and create a gap to Lewis Hamilton just behind us. End of lap 5. We're going to dive into the pits on the end of this lap. Is Hamilton going to follow us in? It appears. No, he hasn't. Hamilton trying to go for the overcut on us at the moment. We've got to make sure we get it slowed down to 37 miles an hour. as we head into the pit lane here. Can we get a nice, clean, tidy stop? It's going to be a 2.6. No one else opted to pit though, so we are going to come out in a bit of traffic here. Not too sure why we decided to make this pit stop so early, if the game realised everyone else would try and hang on out there. Coming back out the pit lane though, we're going to be down in last place. All the way down in P20. However, as we make a bit of a mistake through turn 1, we're going to have clear air for a bit. Hopefully we're going to see everyone dive in over these next couple of laps there. But, yeah, clearly Ferrari, is this going to be one of their famed bot strategy calls? Only time will tell. Already starting to close up a lot of the gap to Latifi and Norris here. However, we're getting a little bit worried. We've burned through most of our extra fuel already here. Just trying to push to catch Hamilton in the first stint. We've just got under half a lap of spare fuel, but now I need to see a lot of these drivers come in. Sebastian Vettel's in, Hamilton's in.
To overtake, please. Push now.
Team's telling me to push. We need to go for this.
Sebastian is in the pits.
We need to see how many of these guys are going to come in there. Latifi and Norris stay out. It appears that George Russell has dived it in. Can we get a run on Latifi? It doesn't look quite like it. However, we have stayed out ahead of Lewis Hamilton there, back up into the top 10. But we do need to get past the Williams. That was a bit close. Otherwise, Hamilton will start closing in on us incredibly, incredibly quickly here. Need to try and get past this Williams. Come on. Pushing him through turn 3.
Okay, car behind is now running the super soft tyre.
Oh, George. Not George. Nick. He's giving us front wing damage there, just so slow.
You've taken some minor damage.
Through the corners there. No idea why the Williams. Well, I think that answers our question. It's the Williams at the end of the day. That is going so slowly here. We're going to have to go for the send up the inside. Make that move work in the end. But now we've got to try and bring home the damaged car. Just a tiny bit of contact there. I forget just how sensitive the old contact model was on F1 2018. However, we're still in a good position at the moment. We need to try and close up now, get past Lando Norris. Whether he's probably going to be pitting the end of this lap. I'd be very surprised if he didn't. I think everyone started this Grand Prix on a set of the ultra soft tyres. Remember those back in the day? And yeah, Norris now does dive it in. So we should now re-inherit the lead of this Grand Prix. Where is Bottas going to come out? He's actually done quite a good job there. Him and Verstappen might have got the overcut on Lewis Hamilton here. It looks like Bottas has. So Bottas now up into P2 of this Grand Prix there. A fantastic job. Well, for one Mercedes car. I'm sure they're mixed emotions at that team as to how that's all gone down. As I think Hamilton, yeah, got held up behind Nick Latifi.
Let's use
They're still swapping around behind us. Hamilton, though, I think has held on to it. So luckily not too much damage done. No, Bottas back up into P2.
Okay, the incident has been
Yellow
cleared.
flags out.
Let's get back up to racing
Who's
speed.
got issues? Who is it? Oh no, it looks like to be Sebastian. Oh dearie me, what's happened? You just see there, yep. Down in towards the final sector. The engine's completely gone. Actually loses front wing as well on one of the Red Bulls, so that might help. So, and yeah, that is one expensive looking blow up for Sebastian Vettel here in this Grand Prix. That leaves me now as the sole Ferrari, and I've got damage. And I think, well, the gap was about 5 seconds to Bottas. It is now down to 4. And you can see just how much time we're losing. We need to try and drag this thing to the end. We've only got 6 laps to go. But yeah, we need to try and get everything we possibly can out of it. End of lap 9 though. Bottas is a man on a mission at the moment in this race. The gap's now down to 2.8. He's taken 1.2 out of us on that lap. This front wing damage has cost us a lot more than I thought I would. In all honesty, at the moment, we need to keep pushing to see if we can, you know, take home a good race victory to kick off our championship. But at the moment, it looks like we're going to be doing a lot of defending towards the end. Is the gap going to be to Bottas? It's been quite a scrappy lap anyway.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
It's down to 1.7. He's taken another 1.1 out of us. we're definitely going to be defending towards the end of this. However, Hamilton isn't gaining that much anymore. It appears that it's both men that started on the second row of the grid that look to be fighting for this race victory. We still seem to have a good pace through Sector 1 and Sector 2, and then just this final sector, we just lose so much to the AI. Now, obviously, that's in part down to the front wing damage, in part down to our setup. But all these separate issues are just compounding, and you can just see visually how much Bottas closes up on us. I mean, the gap was about 1.3, I think, at the end of Sector 2. What's it going to be at the end of the lap? Is it going to be under a second? Let's find out. Yes, just 9/10 of a second now between Bottas and myself. Hamilton down to 2.2. We've got 3 laps to go. We need to defend this. Bottas might be able to get a run on us with a couple of laps to go. Once he's nestled into that DRS window, it's going to be very, very difficult to try and defend from him. That Mercedes is still very, very quick down the straights. Gap down to just half a second now. 2 laps to go of the Australian Grand Prix. It appears to be coming down to the wire. We're going to do everything we possibly can to try and defend this position, though, from the Mercedes. I mean, we had a bit of a battle with him on lap 1. We both then managed to sneak past Sebastian Vettel and Lewis Hamilton in very different fashion. Obviously, Seb from the pole out to the Grand Prix there. Not quite the start to his season that he wanted. As for all, he was our main title threat back in 2019. But Bottas, he's still gaining at the moment. Is he going to be able to go for any sort of move? I'd imagine it's got to be onto the final lap.
They have an issue with their car.
Oh, Bottas has got an issue. Will that cost him towards the end of this Grand Prix? Let's find out then. What is the gap going to be as we head towards the end of the second sector? No, gap still holds the same. Is Bottas now going to be robbed of a potential to at least fight for this race victory? I mean, we were going to put it all on the line anyway. Bit of a mistake there. That's okay. Is Bottas now not going to be able to fight for this? Is Hamilton potentially going to be able to get past Bottas? I'll be honest, it's kind of low-key running a good final lap battle between Bottas and myself, but yeah, Bottas really, really struggling now. Hamilton might be able to get past him as we head on to the final lap of this Grand Prix. Hamilton now up into P2. Here, what is the gap between myself and Lewis? Potentially, is he going to go from 3rd to 1st in the final lap of this Grand Prix? We will have to wait and find out as we make a horrible, horrible mistake through turn 2 and turn 3.
There's only 1 lap of fuel remaining.
Hamilton now is closing in on this. He hasn't got any issues. So Hamilton, I mean, he lost P2. Bottas then got back past him again, fair and square. And now he's back up into P2 again, is the Mercedes driver. The gap just over 1 second. We can't afford to make any mistakes like that. We're just going to put everything up to maximum in towards this final sector.
We pretty much burned off our excess
Gap
fuel.
down to just
We'll be
6
back
tenths of
on
a
target
second.
soon. Don't
Obviously, we
wait
lose a
too
lot
long
of
to
time
turn
through
the
that
engine
high-speed chicane. Hamilton, though, he's not looking close enough at the moment. Surely there's no overtaking opportunities in through this final sector. He's going to be all over the back of us, though. But we just need to play it calm. Don't make any mistakes. Down in towards the penultimate corner here in the Australian Grand Prix. We've had another driver drop to the wayside right at the very end. At the final corner, though, Charles Leclerc is going to make his first step to defend his 2019 championship. It is the win at the Australian
Nice
Grand
work. That's
Prix.
P1. Race win. Well done.
Here's our winner, pulling their Ferrari into Parc Fermé. What a fantastic race it was. And Anthony Davidson, give me your thoughts. How did they accomplish this result?
Well, I'd say it's just raw pace, plain and simple. I mean, we could sit here and talk about strategy all day, the overtaking, looking after the tyres, but at the end of it all, if you want to win, you need a package that's got the speed over everyone else, and that's exactly what they had today.
So, here they come now, out onto the podium. Wherever you go, anywhere in the world, the prancing horse flags are dominant in the grandstands, and they're out in force again today. It's Ferrari on the top step once more. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day? That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
So there we are then, the end of the Australian Grand Prix, and only half a second separated Lewis Hamilton and myself at the end of that one there. But we come through from P3 on the grid to take home victory here in Australia there. Hamilton through in P2 ahead of his teammate Valtteri Bottas, who was lucky in all honesty to hold on to P3 despite the issues he had towards the end of that Grand Prix. I reckon Bottas might have got the run on us had he not had those issues right at the very end. Verstappen and Albon though come through P4 and P5. They're ahead of the Renaults, having a good result in 6th and 7th there. The AlphaTauri driver of Pierre Gasly up in P8 ahead of Magnussen in 9th, with Sergio Perez the only driver inside the top 10 to actually have lost out on a position there at the end of the Grand Prix. Romain Grosjean just misses out by 1.5 seconds on his first points of 2020. They're ahead of Lando Norris, Kimi Raikkonen, Sainz, Latifi, Giovinazzi, Kvyat and Lance Stroll. There with George Russell and Sebastian Vettel, they're both not making it through to the end of the Grand Prix. In terms of the standings though, obviously the drivers exactly the same. The constructors though, Mercedes lead the way, 8 points clear of ourselves, Ferrari there. Red Bull in 3rd ahead of Renault, AlphaTauri, Haas and Racing Point there in P7. McLaren, Williams and Alfa Romeo, the 3 teams yet to score at the end of the opening round of the World Championship there. But yeah, a big thank you to those of you that did make it this far into the video. If you did enjoy, do get yourself subscribed, and yeah, we will be back next time out for the Bahrain Grand Prix.